about to, well, enjoy the 2018 Christmas Parade in downtown Waverly. Coming to you live from the front of the courthouse here. Undercover, we want to thank Bud's Music and Vintage Treasures for providing us with a tent so we can get a little bit out of the weather in case it decides to return on us. Right now, we're between bands of rain, so we don't have any thing falling in downtown Waverly at the moment. But we are waiting for the Christmas Parade to start, which should be in a moment. But since it's way down there at the junior high, it'll take a little bit for it to get here to downtown. Crowd is fairly good. We got it kind of sporadic. I think everybody's waiting in their vehicles until the actual parade gets here so they can get out and watch it and not get caught out in the rain. Joining me this afternoon is Coach Larry Bradford. Coach, how you doing?
Oh, I am doing great. Enjoying this weather. We got Mother Nature cooperated. We got the rain out of here before 1 o'clock.
We hope.
We hope. And we're just enjoying this weather right now. It's not cold. It's not hot. So it's a beautiful day in Waverly. If you want to come out and watch this Christmas parade, come on out and join us here on Main Street.
Well, we'd love to have everybody come out and remember that the Christmas parade will be going on probably about 15, usually about 15 or 20 minutes. And we'll give you a little information here about the parade as we go along, tell you a little bit about the different floats that go by and all like that. Also joining us this afternoon is Donnell. Donnell will be providing us with our different sponsors. And while we're talking about our sponsors, today's broadcast being made possible because of the support of some of our fine businesses here in Humphreys County. Donnell, why don't you let everybody know who's helping us out today?
Humphreys County Government, Jesse Wallace County Executive, First Federal Bank, Vintage Treasures, True Family Pharmacy, the Waverly Buddy Frazier Mayor, and Houston County Lock and Key, and Buzz Music.
And we want to thank all of them, and we'll go back over them a little bit later as well. But we appreciate them for coming on board and helping us bring our coverage of the parade to you. Someone the other day was asking me, Coach, how do you cover a parade on a radio? Well, I hate to tell you this, radio was around a long time before the parades, television and all like that anyway. But for those of you who are wondering, joining us behind the camera today is Mike Hewitt of Hewitt Video. Mike will be videotaping the parade. We'll play back it on Channel 3, Comcast Channel 3, which is Wave 3, the City of Waverly's government channel. We'll be playing it back on that periodically throughout the holiday season. So you get to see it on Channel 3 for those of you who are residents of Waverly here and you have Comcast cable. So that's kind of cool. And also, I don't think Mike would have a problem with you contacting him and asking for a video copy of it. If you want to buy a CD of it, you can feel free to do that. Isn't that right, Mike? Yeah, see, Mike has no problem with that at all. So if you have somebody that you love that's in the parade, you want to get a picture of it, he'll be glad to get you a CD for that as well. We appreciate him helping us out like he does every year here. Coach, I'll be honest with you, I keep hearing horns and stuff down that way blowing, but I keep seeing traffic coming from both directions. I don't think anything's started yet.
They haven't started at least far enough the road to cut off the traffic. Beautiful day to open up the holiday season here in downtown Waverly. And we want to remind everybody to come down and shop downtown, support our local merchants, and keep us with a vibrant community here in Waverly and Humphreys County.
Now, if the information that's been given us is correct, we're going to have around, around 65 or so different participants in the parade, varying from automobiles to beauty pageant winners to hopefully the band will be here, not to mention the Clydesdales and horses and the whole 9 yards, and a bunch of little cartoon friends along the way as well. We want to appreciate very much the people who've come together and put the parade together. We're going to look forward to sharing it with you this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. And ending up the parade with horses and mules.
Which is better than beginning the parade with horses and mules,
oh, yes.
Coach.
And the band will appreciate that.
That's right. Since you used to be a band director, you understand where I'm coming from. You'd rather be in front of the horses than following up, and that's all there is to it.
Oh, yes. When I was in high school, we were in the Cherry Blossom Parade, and they had the horses in the front of the parade.
Did they really? And
we had a band director that would have jerked us off the street and bounced our head on it if we'd have got out of line to miss something.
Well, I know that a couple of years ago I was talking to a guy who was down in, hey, I like that. Motorcycles run by. I was talking to a guy who was down in Columbia during the big Mule Day stuff down there, and that can get interesting. and creative. In case you didn't hear it, that was a motorcycle going by. I like motorcycles with no mufflers. It makes them look a lot bigger than they are. Actually, just in case you want to know, that's actually a Kawasaki 50cc. That's a little bit old trail bike, but he's just got the muffler off it. It sounds bigger than it really is. It really is. Anyway, we do appreciate you very much tuning in this afternoon. We'll try to keep things moving along, and hopefully they'll get the pace right this year. Last year, Mike looked like he was playing tennis out there, jerking that camera around back there, and forth how fast they were going by. But hopefully they'll slow it down.
And you're hoping the guy on that little bike didn't have earphones on, so he's going to come back here and have a talk with you, right?
Yeah, I'm really. One of the advantages with that loud of a muffler, he can't hear his radio, like that, and everything. But we want to remind you that it's really the weather's broke, real nice right now. So if you're on your way in, or you haven't come down to the parade yet, plenty of time to get down here, plenty of room around the courthouse square, and we like to be at the courthouse square because that's where usually the different floats and the different bands and the different activities performs right here. So we get to hear them all, which we really do enjoy and we appreciate very much. Coach, just out of curiosity, I know that you were in band and a band director for a number of years, and you got to be in a few parades over the years, right?
Just a few.
What's your funniest on a parade?
Funniest? I know as a band director, the most irritating are the Shriners.
Why were they irritating, Coach?
You're marching down the street and they take their little four-wheelers and go-karts and try to run over your field commanders and your flags up front. And then they'll spread out for about a half a mile, and then they'll bunch up, and the people on the side that are trying to run the parade saying, hurry up, hurry up.
Well, I always get a kick out of, for about 3 or 4 years, we broadcast from down just across the street from the City Hall is where we broadcast from. And invariably, we'd see both the McEwen and the Waverly Band and the Lakeview Band, they'd be coming down the street, they'd be playing Christmas carols, and we're all excited. They get right up to us, and they start counting cadence. And they count cadence all the way down here to Courthouse Square and start playing again. We're like, well, I didn't get to hear nothing but the cadence all day long. So, but my favorite parade story is that they, back when I was still in high school, they used to have they had the parade here then, and they would have the Shriners down here with the different. They had the little go-kart ones where they do the little acrobatic little street things in the street.
Oh yes, that's what I was talking about.
And they get down here, and they were doing something, and two of them miscalculated what they're doing. They hooked wheels.
Oh no!
And they literally just hooked wheels and kind of went nose up in different directions. And when they hit back down, they kind of looked over at the crowd and go, "We meant to do that."
Oh yes.
In case you're wondering why the kids are walking along with little bags today, Christmas candy is back in the parade this year. The last couple of years have been we went through a couple of years where they banned candy in the parade, but now it's back. So the different floats will be throwing that out, and they've got a lot of bags here anticipating a lot of candy going into the Christmas season.
Now there is one of the motorcycle group that's going to be throwing out toys.
Yeah, that'll be a street fight right there. So
I mean, it's something different, but our stuffed animals. I was talking to one of the ladies that's in it, and they're going to be doing that instead of candy.
Oh, that'll work. So, and of course, and as wet as it is today, you better hit them before they hit the ground and stuff like that. Well, also, we want to thank the City of Waverly, the City of Waverly Police Department and the Fire Department for coming together and helping with traffic control and with coordinating. And actually, they coordinated and taped off the area here that we're utilizing for our broadcast. We appreciate that. That way, we didn't have to fight with anybody when we got here. And we also want to thank the Humphreys County, government of Humphreys County, for again cooperating and helping with coordinating the traffic down 13. They have to. The sheriff's department has to close off the traffic down 13 during the parade, so people don't come whipping down through there. So we appreciate all the government entities that came together and assisted with doing the parade today and making it happen on time. And as usual, it's going to become a couple of years ago, Gray and I did a broadcast, Coach, where it was so cold we actually started losing feeling in our fingers and toes. I mean, so this is kind of a nice break. I know it's kind of wet and like that, but at least we're not freezing to death.
I think I was marching with the Lakeview Band that year.
Yeah, that was a year I felt really sorry for the guys playing horns because I was afraid their lips would freeze to the mouthpieces.
Yeah. Take your mouthpieces out, hold them in your hands, or put them in your pockets till we're ready to play.
I felt sorry for them and those uniforms always look so cold. They don't look like they're. I know most of them are made out of wool, so they're probably hotter than they look, but they look like they're so thin and stuff like that.
They've probably got about 6 layers on under them. The ones I always feel sorry for are the guards, the flag girls.
And the majorettes, right?
Because they don't have much under those uniforms they wear.
That's true.
They're free. The band's over here all bundled up, but they're out front freezing.
Now, I just see the police car coming down here with the blue lights and blocking off 13, so we know that at least the band must be on, or the parade must be on the move from Waverly Elementary School, where everything's down there. Well, eventually we'll see the color guard. The color guard this year is going to be a Boy Scout troop, and so we'll talk more about that when they get here. And they'll be carrying the flag for us, as always. A lot of veterans hats here today. Have you noticed that? I've noticed a number of people here with veterans hats on. And like that, the last time I think we were down here for a parade was Veterans Day parade, which you were part of.
Yes, I was part of it, and we had the tree lighting here in Waverly this week, didn't you?
Yeah, Thursday night. Yeah.
And the one in New Johnsonville is going to be on the 7th.
December 7th, right, which is a Friday.
Yes, it'll be down at the Safe Room, and everybody's invited to come out and join all the people in New Johnsonville as we officially kick off the Christmas season in Jayville.
I also want to remind everybody, our McEwen listeners, that the McEwen City Parade, Christmas Parade, will be happening tomorrow at 2 o'clock there in downtown McEwen. So don't forget that. We have a lot of listeners there in McEwen. We appreciate very much, and we want them to definitely take advantage of their Christmas parade. If you can't come here and see this one, see both of them and like that. Now, Coach, it's Christmas season, gift-giving time and like that. Have you got all your shopping done for the holiday season?
Shopping? I haven't even started. Now, my wife had hers done probably about September.
Really?
But
is she one of those that buys it up early and sits it back?
She starts Christmas shopping on December the 26th.
Oh, that's
when everything's on sale. Marked half price.
I honestly tried that one year. Thought I'd get with all our gift giving and gift buying and stuff taken care of early like that, and then when Christmas season rolled around, I forgot about it and forgot where I put it. So end up buying it anyway. I like that. Well, okay, we're going to be talking about Christmas and Christmas songs and stuff like that. Your point of view, what's your favorite Christmas tune?
I have a tendency to love "Do You Hear What I Hear?"
Well, if nothing else, for the well-written answer and back and forth
question and answer,
the query back and forth between the two choirs is really nice. My favorite one, and will always be the 1959 version of the Christmas song by Nat King Cole, which was the stereophonic version. He had recorded that thing 4 times.
There are other versions?
Yeah. he recorded that song 4 times. The first time was in 1949. It was a mono with his trio, him on piano. Then he did one with the Nelson Eddy leading the orchestra behind him. It was in mono. That was in 53. And in 59 he redid one with in stereo, which is a classic everybody remembers today. And that song is just so neat. But do you know the story behind it? Guess who wrote that song?
Let's see. Mel Torme, wasn't it? I have to stop and think.
Mel Torme and Bob Wills, who was a country western act.
He was
back in the
Sons of the Pioneers at one time.
Bob, they were in. It was a very hot July in Palm Springs. They were burning up. The air conditioning wasn't working, and so Bob Wills had read this article saying that if you thought cool thoughts, you could lower your body temperature. So they started throwing out things, and before they knew it, they were writing a song. And so that's where the song came from. And Mel Torme, by the way, for a number of years was the music director on the Liza Minnelli's mom. I went totally blank of her name. One that was in Over the Rainbow. Wizard of Oz.
Dorothy.
Yeah, Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. I went totally blank all of a sudden. But anyway, he was the music director on her program. She had her own television program, and every Christmas season, he would come on there and he would write another verse.
Judy Garland.
There you go. Judy Garland. He would write another verse to the song every year, and he said it was kind of funny because he was kind of glad when that got canceled. He goes because after 6 years it was getting kind of long.
Oh yes.
So, but yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. What's your favorite Christmas program?
Well, I like the claymation, any of those, but I like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer one.
I like that one. I really do. And what's really cool is Hallmark has brought back out all the original characters of that special in ornaments, and also in overstuffed dolls and stuff like that as well, which I think is kind of cool. I like the Abominable Snowman. I like Yukon Cornelius. I like all of them.
Of course, I have to find it somewhere on the cable every year. Is the 1940 version of A Christmas Carol?
Okay, 1940 version. Is that the one with what's that guy's name? The older English actor. I can't think of his name right now.
Very classic version of it.
Now I like, believe it or not, I like a more modern version of the Christmas Carol, but it was one that was done with George C. Scott playing Scrooge.
He did a good job.
Which was outstanding. George C. Scott, he was really great. I like that. But my favorite.
And Captain Picard did a good Scrooge.
Yes, he did a one-man radio play on that, which was awesome. Did all the voices and everything. It was kind of cool and like that. So I actually can see some flashing lights coming up here, Coach, so we know the parade is getting closer. And we're getting ready to start. I want to remind everybody you're listening to WQNV AM 1060 or 93.5 FM. This is our coverage of our 2018 Christmas parade being made possible through these sponsors. Caught her with her back turned. I like
Humphreys County Government, Jesse Wallace County Executive, First Federal Bank, Vintage Treasures, True Family Pharmacy, City of Whaley, Buddy Frazier Mayor, Houston County Lock and Key, and Buzz Music.
I want to thank Bud also and Vintage Treasures for getting us a tent so we can be a little bit out of the weather in case it goes a little bad. As we appreciate all our sponsors very much, and we want to thank them for helping us bring you the coverage of the day's parade. We're going to start off, like I said, with the color guard here in a few moments, which should be one of the Boy Scout troops here. And in case you, of course, these days, the Boy Scouts, most people aren't as familiar with as they used to be, but it was founded here in the state. Hey, we got wind going now. We may be taking off, Coach. This would be kind of cool.
Flying nun.
The Boy Scouts were founded in America in 1909, and it was founded here in America by Chicago publisher W.D. Boyce. And the reason why it got founded here was kind of odd. He was in London. He was visiting London, and it was one of their very bad fogs. He found himself lost in the streets in a very bad fog, and he ran into a young man, and the young man said, "Where were you going?" And he told him where he needed to go, and the guy led him through the fog back to his hotel. And when he got there at the hotel, he offered the kid money, and the kid looked at him and said, "No, I'm a scout. I'm just doing my good deed for the day." And he was so impressed with that, he went to talk with the English Scoutmasters. Boy Scouts began in England. And when he got back to America, he founded the first Boy Scouts of America in Chicago, and it's grown since then. So kind of we're a little backstory on the Boy Scouts for you like that. So, and the truck was very nice. He kind of broke through and was very happy that they let him out of the parade. I kind of like that.
Yeah, he's got a nice long detour around here.
And like that. Now, speaking of a Christmas season, Coach, are you one of these that put their Christmas tree up on Thanksgiving Day, or do you do it later in the year?
My wife does it the day after Thanksgiving.
Everybody's got their own traditions. A lot of people come together on Thanksgiving while they got all the family together. They put the Christmas tree up and get ready for the Christmas tree season. And then a lot of people, have to have it up by the first. My family, when I was growing up, my mother was of the opinion that if you didn't get the Christmas tree up by the 1st of December, it was bad luck. So it would be up and had to be down before July 1st. I mean, before January 1st. So it had to be down before it could only be in that 30-day window. Like that. So
I learned years ago when my wife gets ready to do Christmas decorations, I grab the gun and go to the deer stand.
Just let her do it, right? And come home and ooh and ah, right? You got to come home and ooh and ah.
Oh yes. Oh, you've got it done. That's nice.
I like that. Now, we'll talk a little bit later when we get some slow spots in the parade. We'll talk a little bit about Christmas traditions and like that. But I always get a kick out of the ongoing debate. Do you open the presents under the tree Christmas Eve, or do you do it Christmas Day? I always love that debate because that was the big debate in my family. We're like, we want to open the presents under the tree now so we have room for Santa to bring stuff, and my parents are like, no, we want to leave them there so Santa doesn't have to bring as much. So I always got a kick out of that.
We usually got to open one on Christmas Eve, and then everything else on Christmas Day.
Oh, really? I always chose the underwear when they would do that. I always got the clothing or something like that. Hey, bud, how you doing? We're on the air.
Oh, hello.
Hey, bud.
I heard you talking about Bob Wills.
Yeah, Bob Wills.
My dad used to be one of his steel guitar players.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Bud was telling me that his dad used to play for Bob Wills.
And
Did you know that he helped write the Christmas song?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did because after they wrote it,
Uh huh.
Dad had been playing with him. They played it for him,
Mhm.
and he come home and told my mom. He said, Bob and them wrote a Christmas tune." He said, "I don't think it's going to do anything, but."
That would be my luck. I would pass on a classic. Bud, good to see you. Thanks again for the tent, buddy. Appreciate it very much.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, fine. If you get a chance to stop by Bud's Music, first of all, it's an experience. But they do it the old-fashioned way. You walk in there, they'll sit down, they will find you a guitar that works for you. They'll take their time and they do a great job. He really knows music. He is in the Cowboy Hall of Fame, Cowboy Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
Yes, he is. Yeah, so is his dad, by the way. All right, look! We see a Christmas parade. We see flashing lights. I love it.
Blue lights.
And
the antique fire truck.
which is always kind of cool, which you know a lot about.
We've got one. We're trying to go out to get a grant maybe to get our old truck that I've operated for years fixed up as a parade truck.
Now, what year is that?
That one's a 1972.
Okay.
American LaFrance on a Ford body.
Well, we got the sheriff's deputy leading off. And I think that's the sheriff himself in the lead car, but I can't get a good look at him yet. He's got a little kid hanging out the back window. He's been a bad little boy.
He's on the naughty list.
He's on the naughty list. Santa has taken him off.
Here they come.
Here they come. And it's Sheriff Davis in the lead car. We want to thank Sheriff Chris Davis, for another great year. Think they got the music running?
They've got something running, that's for sure.
I love it. And, of course, Chief Gillespie, our safety director for the city of Waverly, is in a follow-up car.
Now, he's got a little girl behind bars in the back of his car.
She was a very bad little girl.
That doesn't happen to be one of his relatives, would it?
No, I don't know. I hope not. And, of course, here's the antique fire truck you were talking about a moment ago, Coach.
This is probably, a late 40s model?
And it's being driven by, or actually being rode on by Mayor Buddy Frazier, who's on the back there.
Driver is Jerry Wright.
And everything. Hey, how you doing? And got a bunch of kids in the back. Everybody wants to ride on a fire truck.
It's fun till you have to get to work when it stops.
Well, I had to go one year. One year they invited me to Small Steps preschool to do reading, to be their guest reader. And when I pulled up, they pulled up with a big fire truck, and I realized no one's going to be paying attention to me reading for the rest of the day. All the kids were out there wanting to be on the fire truck from that point on. Now, Coach, what kind is this one here? This is a Waverly Fire Department.
All right, that's got is a pumper with a step-through operator's panel, which those are really nice because you get on a fire scene, you get in that step-through panel, you can see everything on both sides.
Very cool. Very cool.
And that will carry about 7 firefighters in the cab.
And this is the fire rescue. Is this the county truck?
Let's see. Yes, that's a Humphreys County rescue truck.
And we appreciate that. Of course, this is Lifeguard, our ambulance service here in Humphreys County. Does an outstanding job. And then coming up right now, I believe that is County Executive Jesse Wallace.
Yes, it is. In his
Hello
Jeep.
to everyone listening to WQMV's coverage of the 2018 Christmas Parade. This is County Executive Jesse Wallace, and on behalf of your county's government, I want to wish you all a joyous holiday season and a very Merry Christmas. Now let's start the parade.
And we appreciate County Executive Wallace stopping by and giving us that message. And of course, he's in that Jeep I want so bad. He's in the
the World War II Jeep
World War
that
Jeep,
he's restored.
Willis Jeep. I love that
nice
thing. And of course, up next we've got the Mighty Gay Theater edition, which has a Minion on the back of it. And of course, the Minion is
accompanied by Charlie Brown.
That's Charlie Brown, of course. Peanuts character, Charles Silks, that began as Little People back in 1949 and eventually evolved into what the Peanuts we know today and we love. And, Coach, where are we? Because they skipped on it.
They've changed everything up on us.
They realigned everybody here.
Now we've got a float coming in front of us, got a gingerbread house on it, and lots of kids. And that's
it's
the Dare float.
Dare float. It's a Dare float. is what that was. It took us by surprise there. We'll try to catch up here, guys. And then, of course, right behind them is we've got, I think, the Vietnam Veterans Organization, Vietnam Veterans of America, local chapter. And they're very active in the veteran community here in Humphreys County. And we have a very large veterans community here in Humphreys County.
You know, this county does more for the veterans than I've seen in a lot of places in the country. And the support for the veterans is fantastic. And we appreciate everybody supporting people who spent their lives serving our country. We've got a deuce and a half behind their trailer with many of the World War II and the Vietnam-era veterans on it.
And they look like they know exactly how to ride on that deuce and a half, don't they? They look like they're very familiar with it. And I think that's former County Sheriff Tongette there as well. And this is the Girl Scouts walking along, Girl Scouts of Humphreys County. Of course, the Girl Scouts began as the Girl Guides over in England, became Girl Scouts when they came here to America. And they were formed in 1928 here in the U.S. They've been continual organizations, do a lot of good work. And I like how some of them got their hair up like the Who characters out of How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Cindy Lou Who.
There you go. I like that. And let's see, Coach, where are we up to? Is this the First Baptist float?
We've got a four-wheeler decorated up behind the Girl Scouts. I think they're accompanying the Girl Scouts. And I think we do have our First Baptist, and we've got a manger scene on it with the angels. Angels we have
and we have the three wise men and a centurion. So a Roman centurion. This is kind of interesting. Yeah, the First Baptist Church put together that float as well. I get a kick out of these floats. I mean, there's a lot of work go into these things. You know, you don't just slap these things together. And if everything's going right, this is also the First Baptist official truck. Come up here. Now, this is the creative arts class that is currently growing here in Humphreys County. They specialize in all the different types of arts, both art, music, dance, the whole 9 yards, and like that. And Coach, this is the Left Bowen Funeral Home float, and they are very comfortable. It looks like they're in a duck blind or a deer blind. They're all waiting for Santa to fly by and take a couple of pot shots at Rudolph and the guys. You know,
I don't know. He's got his jump bag in. He's waiting to fly off to war. It looks like a veteran there.
Well, it really does. And it's like a Christmas without you. What it is, it recognizes the families who are separated during wartime conditions when people are deployed, and we appreciate that float from Left Bowen Funeral Home. I thought it was pretty good. And we got one of our winners here, Coach.
All right, this is the baby Miss Humphreys County, Felicity Pointer, from Ferris to the Fair.
And look how she's cute.
Oh, she's a little doll.
She's sitting in the back like this. And, of course, this is my favorite organization every year, the Jeeps of Humphreys County. And we always enjoy seeing those guys roll by because we have such a wide variety of Jeeps. We have the original Wrangler. Then you also have some of the 70s ones with the square headlights. And, of course, you got some of the newer ones as well. Jeeps, by the way, began as the Banton reconnaissance car. It was built as a reconnaissance car to be used. Randall Anderson driving that one there.
And the Army called them general purpose, and being
Jeeps.
Military people, they had to shorten it down to GP. Jeep.
Originally built by either the Willis or the Ford Motor Company. And Ford, by the way, would put an F on every part, every bolt, everything on a Jeep. They would put an F on it because Henry Ford said he did not want to repair Willis Jeeps. So they really did. Of course, over the years, it's been made by Willis Overland. Of course, AMC did it for a number of years, Chrysler, and now these days it's Fiat Chrysler that produce the Jeeps. And we've got a wide variety of them here right now. We really appreciate them very much. And they do a good job of promoting Jeeps. Can you hear the motorcycles coming back?
Oh, yes, that's with our Framley, F-R-A-M-I-L-Y, Framley float. And behind it, we have a motorcycle group.
And listen, I'm going to be honest with you. One of the motorcycles has a set of antlers on his motorcycle, and I'm not going to make fun of him. No way at all. So, but and again, this is a recreation of a Christmas morning. I like that. And I'm going to turn our ambient mic off because the motorcycles can be heard without it. And I like the very back one back here. The motorcycle's decked out with a little trailer behind it. It's got a dog in it.
This is the group that's throwing out stuffed animals instead of candy. If you notice, they've got them on the float and on the motorcycles.
That works out very well. I like it. And we got a wide variety of motorcycles here. I see at least one Harley. They got a gold ring Honda, and also I think most of them look like they are definitely Harley Davidsons for the bulk of them, and like that, stuff like that, and everything like that. So
I think they're trying to get your daughter to go out and ride with them.
and that would be interesting right there. I like the dog in the back of this one here, and of course you got your classic three-wheel motorcycle coming up as well, and back to modify. Oh, they're bringing a stuffed animal to us. I like that.
Hey, it's Uncle Si.
It's Uncle Si.
Riding the motorcycle.
It's exactly what it looks like. Now, the last motorcycle here is actually a motorcycle that's it's a trike inspired by the James Dean movie, which I went totally blank on. But it's an automobile. It basically has a car engine in it as opposed to a motorcycle engine.
Is that the insurance company where they give you back 3/4 of the car?
That's it right there. And where are we at to now, Coach?
All right, we've got a baby miss coming in here from Volunteer State, Eiffel Tower, the Audrey Carmichael.
And the little one in the back. By the way, the people on the motorcycle, they were the Sweats for Vets organization. They do a lot of work for the veterans and stuff like that as well. Kind of like an off-branch of Rolling Thunder, their motorcycle outfit. And up next, we've got Force Athletes, which are basically a young tumbling club. And they are having all kinds. That kid's got an arm on her. Sign her up for baseball. She just slung some candy and just about wiped out half the place. But they always look like they're having a good time. Now, here is one of my favorite vehicles.
Oh,
by the way,
beautiful antique cars and trucks.
This is a classic Ford pickup truck.
That's an International.
That's international there. I'm looking. This,
You're looking at the car.
I'm looking at the car. You're looking at the truck. That's international there. This is a Ford over here. And I think that's George Ross driving that one. That's a Model T with a rumble seat.
Leaping Lena.
Yeah, representing the Lions Club, by the way. And of course, over the year, the Model T was called, like I said, Tin Lizzie, Leaping Lena, and a number of others. They produced that car from 1908 to 1927. The Model T was the longest car in production, and like that. And this is SpongeBob SquarePants. But you were telling me his creator passed away this week.
This week they had that on the news, so interesting. SpongeBob,
which was Stephen Helensburgh, who was actually a marine biologist originally, believe it. And this is, I believe, the Compassion Church facility here. They're advertising the play they're doing, which is the Ungrinching, and like that.
Right in front of it, love it. We got a golf cart pulling three little wagons with kids in them. little kids.
Who are having more fun than we are. They really are, and I like that. And of course, this is the float advertising the Ungrinching, which is the play they're putting on this year. And coming up behind that is another big, huge pickup truck with antlers, and I like that as well.
Looks like it's Forbidden Shield, float, truck, and motorcycles.
And they got motorcycles on the back of the truck, which is the only safe way I could ever drive one, as if it was being hauled by another truck.
Oh, they're always fun to ride on. I'll have to come get you and ride you on my little one.
That's okay. I'll pass.
Big antlers on the...
I've been banned from anything that doesn't have four wheels on it, okay? So, but it's a nice organization here that does a lot of work with the underprivileged kids here in Humphreys County and underprivileged families as well. So they do a great job. We appreciate them being in the procession today.
I always drive my sister crazy. I'd go up when my mother was in her 80s, ride my motorcycle, see my mother and get her on my Honda 250 and ride her around on it. My sister would go crazy.
I'm sure she appreciated that. This is Cynthia Duggar, by the way, and Serenity Duggar, who are pageant winners from the fair.
Now, that doesn't even look like a Jeep.
No, and it's not a Jeep. I hate to tell you this. That is not a Jeep, no matter what they say. And, of course, coming up next is who, Coach?
A Step in Time.
And they are definitely stepping in time today.
Our cloggers.
And, of course, they are on a long float with hay bales, and the young ladies are also walking along beside the float, tossing out a little candy there and stomping on it as they go along. That works out well.
You know, these clogging groups, they've had them in the county for a long time now, and they're really learning some typical folk dance from this area of the country.
Definitely, without pause. They do it year round. They're always doing something in that organization and stuff like that. And of course, we've got the Waverly Central High School Marching Tiger Band. And I turn you over to Coach Larry Bradford to talk about the band and how well they're doing. So this ought to be interesting.
All right, they had a very good year this year. Of course, field commander is Shane. Here I go forgetting him. He plays soccer for me. and band directors are Clint Rawls and Jody Bullington and Samantha Hawkins.
Now the flag girls are in Christmas sweaters, so they are not. They are warm this year.
Now, take a look at these flag girls. They have several girls who marched over the past 10 to 15 years have come back. This is an alumni group up front.
Very cool.
And they have alumni playing in the band too.
Yeah, I was wondering why they weren't fitting their uniforms there.
And alumni field commander
Yep.
from 5 years ago. And of course, Samantha Hawkins, one of the band directors, playing trumpet. Now I've got to take credit for her. She's one of my students.
She's one of your students, huh? Did you teach her how to play the trumpet?
I taught her how to play the trumpet. I disappointed her though. I moved out of the director's position before she came back to get it.
Coach always says that he can play any instrument as long as it has a mouthpiece, right?
As long as it doesn't have strings on it. And there's the band trailer. They haul stuff in that all over the country. The band travels all over West Tennessee and Middle Tennessee performing during marching band season.
And
they'll be going to a parade
soon
next week in Lobelville.
And this, of course, is I think it's the County Rescue Squad is what that is. And coming up is the Waverly Tire addition to the parade this year, and it's Scooby-Doo. They're carrying Scooby-Doo. Of course, Scooby-Doo's been around since 1969. And, of course, when you where Scooby-Doo is, you're going to find Fred and Daphne and Velma and, of course, Shaggy. I like that.
Scooby Snack.
Scooby Snack. Yeah. What I do. And, of course, we got another pageant winner coming up here. Coach?
I think this is Kaylin
Rees. And
Rees.
that is a Jeep.
Yeah, it's the fair. They've changed our whole lineup here on us.
Yeah, they also swapped some vehicles around there, and that upsets us. No. Because I know that is not a car. That's a Jeep.
And that was the preteen fairest of the fair.
Now, this is Natchez Trace Youth Academy coming up next. And, of course, they're coming along. Good group. They have a well represented there. And then coming up is the Humphreys County Humane Society. It's their van and walkers here. And, of course, Humphreys County Humane Society does an outstanding job here in Humphreys County. The Humane Society was founded in the United States back in 1954. And their goal is to seek to prevent all use and abuse of animals. And they do an excellent job here. And, Coach, who we got up next?
They're being followed by the Tennessee Division of Forestry. And, only you can prevent forest fires.
I was going to say, where's Smokey? I see the cow there. He's in the cabin.
He's on the back of the cabin.
I see him. Okay.
They're pulling along a cabin in a brush truck, and Smokey's sitting in the back of a cabin in the trailer behind.
Very good. I like that. And
And
of course,
this wonderful work.
This is Color Design, and they have Pikachu, which actually was one of the few cartoons that began as a video game and evolved into a cartoon series. Now they're in comic books and movies and toys and everything else, and in our parade today as well. We appreciate them here. And this is the Faith Christians pageant winner is coming up next here, going in front of us as well. And, Coach, we got a big float coming up here. Who's coming up? Polar Express. Who's got the Polar Express?
Polar Express, yeah. This is so much fun. I want to say it's the Boy Scouts, yes.
Yeah, it's the Boy
Scouts. Because they got
Scouts.
on their blue Cub Scout Pack 575 on the trailer with the American flags, Cub Scout flag, and lots of young scouts.
And they are recreating the Polar Express adventure. It's supposed to be a train there. It's pretty cool. And that kid's got an arm, too. You see him toss that candy?
But I'm not scouting anything I need. I can't see him kicking balls around.
And here's this is the little Cub Scouts, the little bitty ones.
I always thought the Cub Scouts were the little ones to begin with.
Yeah.
Different age groups, though, of Cub Scouts.
They do. Now, I see the Grinch, and this has got to be, who's this? Is it Humphreys County?
Let's see.
Residential and commercial. This is ProClean.
ProClean.
Yeah.
And they've got a Christmas family scene with the Grinch at the Christmas tree.
There we go. And we're all running around here trying to figure out what number we're on. I love it.
You're a mean one. Mr. Grinch. And we have an antique farmall coming up behind the Grunch float.
Which is pretty cool. We have a very active antique tractor and engine club here in Humphreys County. And they do an excellent job. They have an event every fall at the fairgrounds, and well represented with a farmall. Very well represented.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have two sitting at the house.
Do you really?
I have a 1946B that has been fully restored, and I'm about a third of the way through restoring a 1951 8N Ford.
Really? Cool. That is cool. And then we have another pageant winner here, but I couldn't catch the sign when she went by.
This is Tequila John's, because the driver's their son, and that's their daughter Josephine in the back.
Very good. And we got a drop-down Ford Thunderbird convertible here, which has another Ferris to the fair, another pageant winner on it as well.
Let's see.
I think that's
Neely Ann Martin. Yeah.
And it's Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
You know who created Winnie the Pooh?
A. Milne back
go.
in 1926.
Yeah.
My boys loved Winnie the Pooh books when they were smaller.
Of course. Now what artist had a hit song based upon Winnie the Pooh?
Kenny Loggins.
There you go.
The House at Pooh Corner.
And Return to Pooh Corner. He did two versions of that, but really good.
Oh,
this is an antique car.
Yes, and it must be English because he's sitting on the wrong side.
Yeah, it's a McAdoo house, and it's a classic English recreated car there.
It's either English or it's a post office.
One of the two. One of the two. And speaking of a big trailer, we got a big trailer here, which is the Waverly Pro team, the Junior Pro.
Pro.
Junior Pro football team had a good season this year. We definitely got some linebackers on that one.
Oh, yes. And following that, we have the Right to Life automobile with their Choose Life and Children are a Gift from God written on the side.
Which do an outstanding job. Followed up by Star Therapy, which is hosting Dora the Explorer. And by the way, they're considering doing a live action version of Dora the Explorer movie coming out next year. By the way, this is a very huge franchise. The original series ran 172 episodes and ended back in 2014, but it continues to go on.
All right, then we've got a truck from TJ's Produce and Flea Market.
That's out in east end of town. I know where that's it. And this is JoJo's Cloggers again. It's one of the JoJo Cloggers, one of the other clogging organizations here in the county.
Well, they're taking it easy today and riding on the float.
I don't blame them at all.
Next Generation Cloggers.
That's what it is. Okay, that works. That works. And we've got
Star Physical Therapy's coming up next.
And I'm beginning to see some horses, so we must be getting to the end of the parade here.
And we've got a Ford truck pulling a trailer. Looks like with a mini excavator of some kind on it.
Yeah, this is stump
grinders
like that. And you know he's in the parade because the kids are not just turned into it because the kids are throwing candy, so you know he belongs here. Now, speaking of Clydesdales, this is the Durham Clydesdales. Part of the Durham Clydesdales, by the way, are also part of the bloodline for the classic Budweiser Clydesdales as well up in St. Louis, and they have the job of escorting Santa Claus himself today.
And we've got the Durham Clydesdale trailer first, and then in a big white buggy, we have the jolly old elf himself.
Who is not stingy on his candy. He's tossing out tons of it. I like him. Very good. Clydesdales are so beautiful. You walk up to them, you don't realize how big they are till you walk up to these Clydesdales.
Now you think about, they were originally bred for knights in armor to ride on.
And then they turned into draft animals, pulling heavy loads. And like this, of course, a variety of horses following up the parade. And then pulling up the rear is a
mule-drawn
wagon. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up here as they stop for a moment. We'll remind everybody one more time who was responsible for our coverage today and tell you who our sponsors were for today's event.
Humphreys County Government, Jesse Wallace County Executive, First Federal Bank, Vicious Treasures, Troll Family Pharmacy, City of Whaley, Buddy Frazier Mayor, Houston County Lock and Key, and Buzz Music.
Now we want to thank everyone who participated in the parade today, everybody who came out to watch it, and we appreciate you listening to it here on WQNV as well. Coach, we're getting ready to sign it off and get into the holiday season. We've got holiday music popping up all over WQNV all month long and like that. And so tell us, What's your wish for the holiday season, Coach?
That everybody is safe and happy, and we get all our troops home.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Before we close off, we want to remind you that you are listening to WQNV AM 1060 and 93.5 FM. This has been our coverage of the 2018 Christmas Parade. Listen, have a very Merry Christmas. Remember, Christmas is all about family, not about renewing arguments, not about renewing adversarial positions, but it's about family. Enjoy it, take your time, and have fun, because every Christmas is special. Take care, my friends. Have a great one. From all of us here at WQNV, have a great holiday season. We will see ya.